Hi everyone. So in our last session we covered two main important commands, that is change directory cd command and the making directory or create directory command, which is mkdir. So in this particular session we shall try to cover the last command which is specially concerned with directories. So that is rmdir. So once we finish up rmdir, then I will give brief explanation with respect to absolute path name and relative path name. You people already know what do you mean by an absolute path name and what do you mean by relative path name. So we shall go through those two particular topics with some examples, and also we shall see the variations. There are some variations with respect to absolute path name and relative path name. We shall try to see those variations. So the first topic for this particular session is rmdir. So as the name itself suggests, it is used for removing a directory from your system. So suppose if there is a directory by a name called as IPL, so if you want to remove that particular directory called IPL, you can make use of rmdir. So as you can see in this particular example, you are trying to remove a directory called as procs. So procs anta yavado one directory ide, aa directory na remove ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು rmdir procs ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟ ತಕ್ಷಣ that directory gets removed, provided ನೀವು ಏನು ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೀರಾ ಆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ ಒಳಗೆ procs ಇರಬೇಕು. ಏನಕ್ಕೆ? you are directly giving the relative path name. ಯಾವಾಗ ರಿಲೇಟಿವ್ ಪಾತ್ ನೇಮ್ ನ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಇನ್ ಸಚ್ ಎ ಕೇಸ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ, ನೀವು ಯಾವ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ ಈಗ ರಿಸೈಡ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ ಯುವರ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ ಶುಡ್ ರಿಸೈಡ್. ಇಫ್ ಯುವರ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ಸಮ್ವೇರ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್, then you cannot directly give the relative path name. In that particular case you need to give the entire path. Only if your directory is present in the current working directory, then you can give the relative path name in order to remove this particular directory called as procs. And also one main rule or one main caution you need to follow while removing a directory is that that directory needs to be empty. What do you mean by an empty directory? Suppose procs ಅನ್ನೋ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಇನ್ನೆರಡು ಸಬ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸಿ procs ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಸಬ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ, ಜಾವಾ procs ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಸಬ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ. So now you are trying to remove a directory called as procs, but this procs has two more sub directories. So without removing sub directories, you cannot directly remove the parent directory. At such a case, these two directories will become orphans. So orphans ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡಬಾರದು. That will lead to some unavoidable situations or some error related situations. So in order to avoid these things, it is always better to remove the subdirectories first, then only you can remove the parent directory. So you can remove a directory provided it is an empty directory. So as you can see in this particular example, this will give me correct result. Why? So as you can see here, first I am removing the Java procs directory, which is a subdirectory of procs. Then I am removing the C procs directory. Your C procs directory is also a subdirectory of procs. So now your procs directory is empty because we have removed both the subdirectories. We have removed the C procs directory, we have also removed the Java procs directory. So now we can successfully remove the parent directory, which is procs directory. So this is the correct way of removing the directory, especially when you are removing your parent directory. First you need to remove the child directories or the subdirectories, then later you can delete or remove the parent directory. So this is the correct way of using your rmdir command. Suppose if I use the rmdir command like this, then it will give me some error. Why it will give me some error? As you can see from the command, you are first trying to remove the procs directory, which is the parent directory. but inside procs there are two subdirectories. So you cannot remove procs directory first without removing that subdirectories. So in this case you are trying to remove the subdirectories but not before removing the procs directory. First procs na remove ಮಾಡಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ subdirectories na delete ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. But proper way ಏನು, ಫಸ್ಟ್ subdirectories na delete ಮಾಡಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ parent directory na delete ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. So that's why ಈ ತರ ನೀವು rmdir command use ಮಾಡೋದು ತಪ್ಪು. It is not the correct way. So this is the correct way, where first you need to delete the subdirectories, later you can delete the parent directory. So these are some of the rules you need to be aware of whenever you are using the command called as rmdir directory. So first rule ನಾನು ಆಗಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ, you cannot remove a directory which is not empty. Your directory should be empty in order to remove that particular directory. First rule. Second rule ಏನು, you cannot remove a directory which does not exist in the system. Directory system ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ directory ನ delete ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. Suppose kkr ಅಂತ ಒಂದು directory ನ delete ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, rmdir kkr ಅಂತ. But kkr ಅನ್ನೋ directory system ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ವೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ you cannot remove kkr directory. So that is the second rule. Next, user should be having the permission. As I had already explained with respect to mkdir, there can be many users. Some of the users may not be having the permission to use some commands. So suppose ಯಾವುದೋ ಯೂಸರ್ಗೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿನ ಡಿಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ he cannot delete or remove the directory. So these are the three major rules to be followed whenever you are removing or deleting a directory. Your directory should be empty. If it is not empty, you cannot remove a directory. Second point, it should exist in the system. If it is not present in the system, you cannot delete it. And the last rule is users should be having the permission. Without user having the permission, he cannot remove the directories. So these are all the things you need to remember with respect to rmdir. So next we shall move on to the next topic, and also somewhat smaller topics than compared to the previous topics. And also you people are already aware of this particular two topics, that is absolute path name and relative path name. So now we shall see some variations with respect to absolute path name and relative path name. ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಅನ್ನೋದ ಈಗ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು. So as you can see here, this is absolute path name. So in absolute path name, if I am in a present working directory, ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಕರೆಂಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ ಇದ್ದು ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಫೈಲ್ ನ ನಾನು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ರಿಟ್ರೀವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫೈ ದ ಫೈಲ್ ನೇಮ್ login.sql. ಸಪೋಸ್ ನಾನೀಗ RCP ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ ಒಳಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ ನಂದು ಕರೆಂಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ. ಈಗ ನಾನು ಇರುವಂತ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಂಪ್ಟು ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಆ RCP ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ ಒಳಗೆ login.sql ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಅದನ್ನ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಗಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ, cat ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಏನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಇಂದ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ ಆರ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ. ಸೊ RCP ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಂದು ಕರೆಂಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಅದರೊಳಗೆ login.sql ಇದ್ರೆ ಈ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಅದರದ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಂಪ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಯುವರ್ login.sql is not present in the current working directory, it is present in some other directory. In such a case, you need to give the complete path name, such a path name which starts with root, that is called as absolute path name. So as you can see here, first to root ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ, root ಇಂದ home ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ, home ಇಂದ ಒಂದು ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಡಿಸೆಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ತೀನಿ, ಕುಮಾರ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ, ಕುಮಾರ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ ಒಳಗೆ login.sql ನ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದರದ್ದು ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. So this is how you can make use of an absolute path name, especially if your file is present in some other directory, not within the current working directory. So this is how you can make use of your absolute path name. And one more thing is, in your Unix operating system or in your Unix directory structure, there can be two or more files with the same name. ಎರಡು ಮೂರು ಫೈಲು ಸೇಮ್ ನೇಮ್ ಇರಬಹುದು, provided they should not be having the same absolute path name. That means those two files which are having the same name should reside in different directories. ಒಂದೇ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿಲಿ ಅದು ಎರಡು ಫೈಲು ರಿಸೈಡ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಚಾನ್ಸೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು ಸಹ they cannot have same name because they will be having the same absolute path. That too won't be possible. So if two files are having same name, then they should reside in different directories. In such a case, they will be having different absolute paths. As you can see here, there are two files which are having same name, that is c2f.pl. These two files are residing in different directories. So inside root we will go to home, inside home we will go to Kumar, inside Kumar we will go to prox, inside prox you are having a file called as c2f.pl. In a similar manner, inside the same directory you are having c2f.pl. So if two files are having same name, they are present in different directories. So this is the basic concepts you need to remember with respect to absolute path name. Next, we shall see how we can use absolute path name for a particular command. ಒಂದು absolute path name ನ ಒಂದು command ಗೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. So before going into this particular concept, I will brush up a concept called as path. Path ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. What do you mean by path ಅಂದ್ರೆ, suppose if I am executing some standard commands, called as path ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. What do you mean by path ಅಂದ್ರೆ, suppose if I am executing some standard commands, ಒಂದು set of standard command, ಈಗ date ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಕಮಾಂಡ್. ಸೊ ಈ ತರ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ನ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಈ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಅದರದ್ದು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿದು ಪಾತ್ ಏನು, ಅದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಪಾತ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊದಲೇ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೇನೆ. So your path variable will contain the list of directories or a list of paths. So whenever I am executing a standard command, so ಆ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದಾಗ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಾನು ಪಾತ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ. ಪಾತ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಪಾತ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರೀಸ್ ನ ಮೊದಲೇ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಆ ಡೇಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಆ ಪಾತ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಯಾ ಅಂತ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. So if it is present, then it will successfully get executed. So if it is not present, then your command can't get executed. So that is the main usage of path. So as you can see in this particular example, your date command is present inside bin. So you will be going to root directory. Inside root directory you will be going to bin directory. Inside bin directory your date command is present. But this won't be the standard way of executing your date command. ನಾನು ಪ್ರತಿ ಸಲನೂ ರೂಟ್ ಹೋಗಿ ರೂಟ್ ಇಂದ ಬಿನ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಡೇಟ್ ನ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. I won't be giving the absolute path name. Directly I will give date ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಅಬ್ಸಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಪಾತ್ ನೇಮ್ ನ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ. ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಡೇಟ್ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ನ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದಾಗ ಡೇಟ್ ಅಂತ ಈ ತರ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಎನಿ ಅಬ್ಸಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಪಾತ್ ನೇಮ್ ನಿಮ್ದು ಶೆಲ್ ನೋಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ, ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಇಂಟರ್ಪ್ರಿಟರ್ ನೋಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋ ಟು ಪಾತ್. ಪಾತ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಡೇಟ್ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ನ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ ಇದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಸೈಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಡೇಟ್ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಅಂತ ಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. So if that particular path is command, it will go to that path, that is it will go to root, it will go to bin, then it will go to the date program, then it will give me the date. This is how the actual execution takes place. Suppose ಈಗ less ಅಂತ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ನ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Obviously less is not a standard command. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ನಾನು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು. So since less is not a standard command, I cannot directly execute less command like this. ಏನಕ್ಕೆ, ಈ ಲೆಸ್ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಪಾತ್ ಒಳಗೆ 100% ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗಿರೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಪಾತ್ ನಾನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ ಸಚ್ ಎ ಕೇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ನೆಸೆಸರಿ ಆರ್ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ದ ಅಬ್ಸಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಪಾತ್. ಅವಾಗ ನಾನು ಅಬ್ಸಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಪಾತ್ ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ ಲೆಸ್ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ನ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ರೂಟ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗೋ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಯೂಸರ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗೋ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಲೋಕಲ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗೋ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬಿನ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗೋ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಲೆಸ್ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ನ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡು ಅಂತ ಅಬ್ಸಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಪಾತ್ ನ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು. Suppose if you are having a command which you are executing very much frequently, ನಾನು ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ನ ತುಂಬಾ ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಇನ್ ಸಚ್ ಎ ಕೇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಬೆಟರ್ to include that particular part into your path variable. ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಕಮೆಂಟ್ ನ ತುಂಬಾ ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಾನು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಲೆಸ್ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಪಾತ್ ನ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪಾತ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಗೆ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಫ್ರಮ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಆನ್ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ there is no need to give absolute path. You can directly execute the less command by giving your less command like this. So these are all the things you need to remember with respect to absolute paths. Now we shall move on to the last topic for this particular presentation session, that is relative path name. So as I had already told, your relative path name won't be having complete path. It won't be starting from the root position. So as you can see here, you are changing directory to procs, provided your proc should be present in the current working directory. ನಾನು ಯಾವುದೋ RCP ಅನ್ನೋ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ RCP ಅನ್ನೋ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ ಒಳಗೆ procs ಇದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ I can give change directory to procs. ಸೊ ಅದೊಂದು ನೆನಪಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ಬೇಕು whenever you are using relative path name. So and also I am given cat login.sql. It will display the contents of login.sql provided login.sql is present inside the current working directory, which is RCP. So as you can see, you can move from one directory to another directory. Inside procs, I can move to scripts, provided your procs is present inside the current working directory RCP. This is how you can make use of your relative path name. These are the basic things with respect to relative path name. Now we shall see some variations with respect to relative path name. The two major variations you can observe is the single dot and the double dot. You can make use of the single dot and double dot inside your relative path name. How those particular dots will work another, now we shall see with an example. So as you can see here, first I am checking the present working directory. The present working directory is root, home, kumar, procs, cprocs. Now I am giving change directory with the help of two dots. Whenever you give change directory using two dots, it will assign to one upper level. It will take me to the parent directory. So ಈ cprocs ke parent directory ado procs. So when I check present working directory, as you can see here, the result will be root, home, kumar, procs. So double dot ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ whenever you are using double dot to the change directory, it will take me to the parent directory. So that's why in this particular example, from cprocs I have moved to one upper level, which is nothing but procs. So we shall see one more example. This is the present working directory, root, home, kumar, procs. Now I am using change directory, double dot. So what will double dot do? It will take me to the parent directory. So ಈಗ procs ಇಂದ kumar ಗೆ move ಆಗಿರ್ತೀವಿ. So it has taken me to one upper level. Then I am using path, one more slash. Then I am using double dot. kumar ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೀನಿ. So kumar ಇಂದ ಒಂದು upper level ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, parent directory ತಗೊಳುತ್ತೆ. Now we have moved to home. So ಎರಡು ಸಲ ಡಬಲ್ ಡಾಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಎರಡು ಸಲ ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಎರಡು ಸಲ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. So now if I check present working directory, I will be in home directory. So this is how you can make use of double dot with the help of cd command in order to move to the parent directory. So parent directory ಏನಾದ್ರು ಮೂವ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದಾಗ ನಾನು ಈ ರೀತಿ ಡಬಲ್ ಡಾಟ್ ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. So next, what is the usage of single dot? So your single dot is mainly used for current directory. So especially if your command is, there are some commands which requires only the current directory. So in such a case, I can make use of this single dot. As you can see in this example, cp command ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೋಮ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಹೋಮ್ ಇಂದ ಶರ್ಮಾ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ. ಶರ್ಮಾ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿಲಿ ಡಾಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೈಲ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಫೈಲ್ ನ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಕಾಪಿ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. cp ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಕಾಪಿಂಗ್. ಕಾಪಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಡಾಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೈಲ್ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಒಂದು ಫೈಲ್ ನ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಕಾಪಿ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ. So if you are using dot command, it is mainly used to obtain the current working directory. ನಿಮ್ಮ current working directory ನ obtain ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ dot command ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ. ಸೊ ಈ current working directory ಸಿಕ್ಕಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ dot profile ಅಂತಾನೆ ಒಂದು ಫೈಲ್ ನ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಈ dot profile ಇರೋ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಆ dot profile ಗೆ ಕಾಪಿ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. So this is how your relative path name will work. You can change to a particular directory provided this particular directory is present in the current working directory. And also you can make use of dot and double dot. Double dot is mainly used to move to one upper level, that is to the parent directory. See prox in the prox move advi. In this example prox in the kumar move aitu, ee ಎರಡು dot use ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ kumar in the home move aitu. You can also make use of the single dot in order to copy the contents of one file to another file. So it will get me the current directory. In that current directory, it will create a file by dot profile. E dot profile contents ella aa directory dot profile anta one file create ಮಾಡಿ copy ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So these are all the things you need to remember with respect to relative path name. So watch all your presentation session and also watch all the classroom sessions. Still, if you are getting any doubts with respect to any presentation session, you can ping me with respect to your doubts. Thank you.